Hi, welcome to class. My name is Ellen McKay, and today we are going to be doing some movement to help relieve tension in the low back. You can practice this class in a chair or on your mat, whatever your preference is. So go ahead and get settled wherever you are. Take a nice comfy seat. I'm going to use a blanket to sit on just because it feels better for me. So please do what feels right for you. Great. Eyes can close if you choose. We'll start with a little breath. So maybe just take a couple hot breaths first. Letting the body relax. Just kind of settling into this practice. Maybe the shoulders start to soften. The belly relaxes a little bit. And just take about 5 more breaths, your pace. If you want some deeper breaths, feel free to expand the inhale and exhale some. Good. If the eyes are closed, slowly begin to blink the eyes open. And let's start with some movement. So again, you can be practicing in a chair or seated on your mat. We'll start with the 4 movements of the spine. Great way to just get some movement in through the torso, the back, and help start to relieve some of that muscular tension that can kind of live along those muscles along the spine. So kind of each side of the spine. We'll start with flexion and extension. So all that means is we're going to move a little forward and back. So let me turn sideways here. And just start with a little bit of rocking. It doesn't even have to be a big movement. We're kind of tilting the pelvis forward, opening the chest a little bit, and then we're rounding a bit. And if you want to take that movement bigger, you can. Good. So just rock back and forth a few times. And as you're rocking, if you feel like, oh, that feels really good, maybe pause there. You can kind of shift and move a little bit if you want. Good. Another breath or two, however you want to move. Great. And then bring it back to center, back to that tall spine. Let those shoulders soften. Now we'll do a little lateral movement, so side to side. You can reach the arms up and overhead if you want, if that feels okay for shoulders. Otherwise, you can just rock side to side. Okay, so we'll start that side to side motion. You go at your own pace as you move from one side to the other. If you want to pause and stay in a shape, you can. Yep. A couple more times, side to side. Good. Let's do one more each side. Great. Again, bring it back to center. Roll the shoulders up and back. Take another breath or two. Good. We'll start some rotation. So that's our 4th mood. We did flexion, extension, so that forward and backward movement, lateral, side bending, and then rotation. So we'll start with some gentle twisting. We're going to keep the left hand on the thigh. Right hand's going to reach a little either to the side or a bit behind. We're just going to go from side to side, just kind of gentle twists. Good. If you have any issues in that low back, like issues in the spine, take it super gentle, okay? And especially if you've been told by your doctor not to do a lot of twisting, stick especially with these gentle twists here, where really we're just mostly moving that upper body. Good. We'll do one more to the other side. You can keep moving with these gentle twists. If you want to go a little bit deeper, maybe that front hand crosses over. Let me deepen a bit more. Again, listen to the body. Do what feels best. And then switch sides. Yep. We're going to continue on with that for a couple more rounds. You got it. One more each side. Nice. Very good. Back to center. Now we're going to combine two of those movements. We're going to combine that lateral movement and the twisting movement. So we're going to twist back to the right. Maybe you stay in that gentle twist, keeping the left hand on the left thigh, or you can cross it over. And again, you can always stay right here in this twist, or we're going to add a bit of a side bend. So wherever that front hand is, leave it there. Back hand is going to reach up and over, like you're trying to reach towards that left knee, left corner of the mat. And then you'll go back into your twist. Good. Both options are great. We're just getting into that side waist a little bit more and then adding in that twist. Good. Let's do that a couple more times. Good. And then bring it back. Nice. All the way back to center. Again, you choose your twist. Maybe keep right hand on right leg or cross it over if you want. And then we'll add that side stretch if you choose. So that left arm reaches up and over to the right and then sweep it back. Good. Couple more. Nice. And sweep it back. Good. Two more, your pace. Wonderful. Good. Unwind yourself, come back to center, roll the shoulders up and back one more time. Fantastic. Good. Now we're going to transition to standing. So if you'd really like to stay in your chair, you're more than welcome to do that. I'll give you some options for being seated, or come all the way to stand. And you can have your chair handy if you want some extra balance. So take the shoulders, roll them up and back. Good. Maybe shake it out a little bit. That's always helpful to relieve tension. If you're seated in your chair, you can do the same exact thing. Shake those arms out, shake those legs out. You got it. Good. So we'll come to the front of our mat or stay nice and seated in your chair. We'll start with half sun salutation. So you can do the same thing whether you're seated or standing. On the inhale, arms lift. On the exhale, hands come to thighs and fold forward. So if you're in your chair, maybe your belly comes towards your thighs. If you're standing, maybe fingertips come all the way down to the floor. On the inhale, lift up halfway, so lengthen through the spine. Same thing if you're seated on your chair. Hands might come to the thighs, lengthen the spine, and then lower back down. Good. Important here, bend those knees, press into the heels, rise up. Hands can lift if you want. Good. Exhale, hands in prayer. Good. Let's do it again. Inhale, hands lift. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, halfway rise. Good. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, press into the heels, rise up nice and strong. Hands are lift up towards the ceiling, and then bring the hands together in prayer. All right, let's take our left foot back. So right foot is forward, left foot is back. So if you're seated in a chair, you can kind of turn a bit to the side of your chair, take that right leg out, left leg reaches back. Arms are just going to stay by the sides for the moment. And we're going to feel a stretch through the front of that left thigh, maybe left calf. All of those muscles on the legs can affect how the low back feels. So if we've got some tightness, it can pull on that low back, and then we feel that tension and discomfort in our low back space. Good. So one more breath here, wherever you are. Hands can just be relaxed. We're resting our shoulders here, and switch it out. So I'm just going to turn towards you and then turn to the other side. Same thing if you're in a chair. So you're just going to turn that left leg to the outer edge of the chair. Let me show you real quick. And we'll start for a few breaths there. So if you're in your chair, this might be where you are. We're getting a good stretch for this thigh. If you want to reach it back and that feels okay, you can do it. Otherwise, keep that knee kind of falling towards the floor. Good. Stay here for a few more breaths. Keep those inhales and exhales going. Feeling that stretch through the front of the hip. Good. One more breath. Nice. Turn it back to center. We're going to keep those feet wide. Same thing if you're in a chair. Feet are wide. Obviously, knees are going to be probably bent. And we're going to fold forward. So hands can come to the hips. Maybe they slide down to the thighs or the shins. Maybe you bring the fingertips to the floor. And really let that upper body be heavy. So we're getting a nice stretch in the back of the body, especially maybe even that low back. Knees can bend as much as you want if the hamstrings or the backs of the legs feel really tight. Let's take a couple more breaths here. Nice. Good. Hands come to the thighs, knees bend, press into those feet, slowly rise up. So use those legs to help you lift instead of just your low back. All right, let's try again. So we're going to turn back to the right side. Right knee is going to bend, left leg is going to be long. And I'm just going to face you here so you can see what I'm doing a little bit better. So right knee is bent, left leg is long. We're going to take the arms up. Good, big stretch. Take your right hand to your right hip. Left hand reaches up and over. So we're getting a bit more of a deeper stretch here through the side of the waist, through the front of the hip. Good, you can do the same exact movement if you're in the chair. Hand can maybe be on the back of the chair or on the seat of the chair as you reach that other arm up and over. That's it. One more breath. Good, so we're here. We're going to turn back to the long side of the mat or the front of our chair and then turn to the other side. And we're going to do the same thing here. So left knee is bent, right leg is long. Let's take those arms up first. Nice big stretch. Great. Then bring left hand to the left hip. Right arm's going to reach up and over. Good. Great stretch for the front of the hip, which also includes the psoas muscle, which is a big connector from our low back all the way down to our leg, which can cause some low back discomfort. You got it. Couple more breaths. Again, if you're seated in your chair, maybe this hand is on the seat of the chair or on the back of the chair, giving you some balance, giving you some support as you reach that right arm up and over. One more breath. Good. Bring it all back to center. Again, we're going to turn those feet to the long side of the mat, or knees are going to be bent as we're in our chair. We're going to fold forward again, so hands come to hips or thighs, and then we're going to go to one side. So take those hands over towards the left leg. Maybe that means left thigh. Maybe it means left shin. Maybe it means left ankle or foot. So we're leaning a little more to that left side, opening a bit more into the right side of the back. You got it. A few more breaths. Good. Now we're going to switch. So slowly take those hands over to that right leg, maybe down to the right shin, maybe down to the right foot. Same thing if you're seated in a chair. Couple more breaths. Very nice. Come back to center and hang out here as long as you'd like.